It is 6:03. I will now call to order the June 19th, 2017 meeting of the East Hampton Conservation Commission. The meeting is being recorded. Being no public present, I'll assume there are no public concerns. Are there any non-agenda items from the commission members?
No.
Moving on, we have no public hearings or meetings this evening. Moving on to request for certificate of compliance, Paul Street Extension, Jillian Estates, Mass DEP file number 151269. Request for certificate of compliance relative to Paul Street Extension stormwater management system. The applicant's consultant has requested we continue this to July 10th because they do not have an as-built of the stormwater management system ready. We have no emergency certifications. We'll see what happens after tonight.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
I thought we were going for a record.
Who requested it?
The applicant's representative, Mark Reed, Heritage Survey.
Can't you just say continued? Or should-
The reason should be in there.
Oh,
Especially
Is it
since
for
it
the next meeting?
came in
Yeah.
as both of these things, the last unit and the system, they asked for a full. And at the last meeting, my understanding is the commission issued a partial for that unit, but not for the entire project because the city is going to take ownership of the street and the stormwater system. And so it's important that they're in compliance before that. Yeah, especially elevations and easements.
So they're gonna provide an as-built plan on July 10th.
In time for the July 10th meeting is my understanding, and we'll see what happens as we get to July 10th.
All right, thank you.
Okay. I have no updates regarding any enforcement actions, either Bernard Gall or Autumn Properties. Do we have any open space updates regarding Echodale East Orchard area improvements?
Yes, I have a revised schedule timeline with, on the back is bulleted for no reason, email from Russell Brain about their involvement, which I think sort of sums it up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, he's happy with our timeline, and as far as their involvement in Art in the Orchard, it sounds like their game, and our timeline should be fine. Art in the Orchard starts, I don't have this on this email, it starts August 12th, but if we're not ready until after that, that should be okay. So as far as our next steps,
Sort of a walk through a Robert Frost poem about the moldering orchard, which once made the farmer so proud. Love it.
Oh, is that in the email?
That's in the
Oh, I'm
email.
sorry, I was on the timeline.
so it sounds like they're pretty go with the flow. It sounds like, I guess one thing that I didn't add to the timeline would be if we wanna have some sort of interpretive sign, what that would look like and who would do that and when. Anyway,
Interpretive sign or the project sign?
maybe just the project sign.
Well,
What are we
I thought
considering?
it
He
was-
Yes.
suggests that we might wanna have something to explain, but right,
I
just
think that's a
explaining the
great idea,
project.
yeah.
Oh, I see,
The
I
CPA
see.
committee is having 2 signs made to be used in whatever, so we could.
Right.
But they won't have the title on or anything.
But this would be
It'll just
very
say this is
It'll just
section
be
specific.
45
generic, so you
CPA.
can
Yeah, and
use
you'll
for
just
everything,
Yeah.
re-update the
Yeah.
plaque that goes
Yeah.
over the project. I have no idea, I mean, what do they do for their Art in the Orchard signs?
Just each sculpture has a little explanation of
But
it.
how is that made? Like, I don't
Oh,
have metal
metal
ones.
things that, it's like that big.
What's the material, like it just, is it like a laminated sheet that slides into a metal
No, it's
frame?
not.
I feel like
or-
it's like a mounted foam core, like even, like,
Do you want me to
like
find out?
museum-y.
Where and how they print it.
Yeah, that would
Okay.
be helpful, because I feel like there's a lot of variation, and depending on how long it would be up, it could fall apart in 2 days, or it could last through the whole thing, and I feel like they might have a better insight into what persists.
Okay, that sounds great. I will find out how they did it, and maybe get a cost estimate either from him or from wherever, and then we can
figure local sign shop.
The Sunrays signs, I think it's called, on 9 in Hadley, seems to have pretty reasonable prices. We use them for something at work.
Cool. So as far as our next steps, we need to get Jess Allen to try to hire a consultant. Was yours, and I know she's really busy right now, do we feel like I know Politan was the one that did the initial, and Colleen contacted Politan to get the estimate that we used in the
Okay.
CPA grant.
Right.
But a few names were thrown out at that last meeting too. I think you had one or two. Should I just send Jess an email and ask her to hire tell her that we're ready for her to find a consultant? Or is there more work that we should do to help or not?
Maybe get the ball rolling with her and say, we're ready to take that next step. What do you need from us?
Okay. Julie, do you remember what that name was that you said last time? I probably wrote
Was it the guy in Connecticut that I said was a botanist?
I don't know. I might have written these things down.
Maybe we can,
It might be in the minutes.
The person I know is William Moorhead, or Bill Moorhead. And I'm not entirely sure that he does this kind of thing, but I think he does. I don't know if
level
that's
of
what it said.
that information is not in these minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so, sounds good, so we've got a timeline, we'll try to get Jess started on hiring a consultant so that we'll have a management plan by the end of July. And I'll find out from Russell what the signage will look like.
What it is?
Yeah, this is May 22nd.
Oh, whoops. Okay, well, that wouldn't be in there then. Nope. I don't know how I managed that. We'll have to defer.
Oh, wait,
You
I
might be-
have-
you might be looking
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, yeah, you have.
There's no detail.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll catch up at our next meeting about those. Sure. Not by design. So, do you need a minute to put yourself? Therein lies the problem with taking minutes and
I'll be quiet after this, don't worry.
No, that's not what I'm suggesting.
No,
It's.
that's what I like about taking minutes, but yes.
So they're not thinking of putting art in our side loop this year, are they?
Doesn't it sound like they
It does
are?
seem like they are,
does,
yeah.
It sounds like maybe they don't plan exactly where everything goes ahead of time.
Well, I think we need to talk with Jess about that too, because, well, I think it's a great idea. I don't know what other considerations, what other factors we need to consider relative to city property and
Liabilities and
Liability
things like
and-
that.
other things of that nature. I mean, I'm totally fine with there being a loop trail that people travel. I mean, that's the whole purpose of what we're doing, but in terms of art installation, I would just wanna run that by Jess because it's way beyond things I've experienced before.
So that would be up through, I mean, it's usually up through October.
Yeah, I feel like depending on where that falls, we would need to actually like, be like, okay, footprint for seasonal art in the orchard installation.
Let me see how it could do it this year. If we're supposed to be volunteer, well, maybe.
I was thinking it might be a great way to get people onto the
That's
site and
true.
moving up the sign and then maybe
Yeah.
involved in it.
I'll help out that day, for example.
Oh, I thought you were, I was like, oh, actually,
That's great, Ashley.
you're volunteering for an
Where's the
unknown
minutes?
day. Actually, Cass has volunteered to help with
You
all
don't remember?
invasive.
Mom's- Yeah, sorry. No, I wouldn't have done that. Okay. Are we,
We're close, I gotta get Ashley in here though.
okay, just say when.
Did you guys volunteer me for anything last week?
Oh, definitely.
Everything.
Definitely all of the things, yeah.
All of the
Certified
things.
letters.
All of the things.
What about Melissa? Did you nominate Melissa for all?
I'm already doing half of the things.
That's probably just.
Never stuff done.
Yeah, did you come through? I mean, you're gonna be next on the agenda.
I have many minutes.
There's a whole new
That was on your list.
agenda, yeah. It's called Ashley.
Ashley updates.
Okay, are we good? Now?
Let me just scan in. Forgot that you were talking to me, sorry.
We need the Jeopardy theme song.
No, right? It's like all of my responsibilities suddenly. You know what, Melissa? I'm gonna be done for now, and you're gonna be the one to look at the minutes, so it's okay. I'm good. Okay, I'm ready. Compliance updates.
Okay. Moving on. Paul Street Extension, Jillian Estates, we talked about that already. Maybe we'll have something for July 10th meeting. Pleasant Street Mills.
I think Jessica's still trying to get information about the retention pond area and is getting a little frustrated on the lack of response.
Okay. Nashwauk Mills, 15 Cottage Street.
What is going on this
What's the side, yeah, that's gotta be the city though.
I think,
Putting
right?
new curbing is what it
I
looks
was
like.
surprised that the sidewalk's getting smaller.
Huh.
But isn't that something that would come before us, cause it's right next to that?
Not necessarily if it qualifies as a minor activity in buffer zone, although it wouldn't be buffer zone only there because it's riverfront.
Riverfront.
So, I'll put although it could if it's more than 50 feet away.
But is
That's
that
not part of the Complete
channelized
Streets, is it?
thing?
Is that where they're doing complete streets?
It doesn't matter from a permitting.
Oh, no, I'm just
Okay.
wondering what it is.
Is Complete Streets the making East Hampton safer? Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen all kinds of surveyors out. Especially, they got, I don't know who's paying for it, if we got funding or what, but to try to make the streets safer for
Incorporate
pedestrians.
multimodal
Especially
facilities.
like
Yes.
by Railroad and Liberty and the
Oh.
bike path, that's
The
fine.
crap shows all over our city, our first week. Should I be putting this in the minutes?
No.
The commission speculated about what might be happening.
Oh,
Oh,
gosh.
gosh.
Okay. All right, so, let's see. Connecticut River, no updates. 184 Northampton Street,
They're
no.
building, they're working. on it.
Walls.
They just
Yeah,
requested
walls.
another, building permit, so they're progressing.
Okay.
Do they have to request each one?
I think it's however they, I don't know the details, but it seems like they're building them one at a time, so. And my response to the building inspector was that they have an order of conditions and it's valid through January of 2019. And, as long as what they're proposing is consistent with the final approved plans on record with the commission, then we have no further comment. Lathrop, there have been no recent updates. Williston, running trails,
They're there.
okay. That's why they're still there.
Yeah, it's there.
So,
Nashwauk Pond, no updates. Loven, there was no work the
No work,
week
yes.
of June 5th. As of Friday, June 16th, they delivered 12 truckloads of gravel for the proposed parking and driveway. No signs of erosion, O'Neill Street's clean. New fiber logs have been installed over the old fiber, damaged winter and by the
The deer,
Deer.
yeah, the deer eat the walls.
It's not what it says right there.
That's pictured on page 4. No areas of standing water in the wetlands, except for as of Friday. So, yeah, the site looks stable. There's even vegetation on the Bork side of the erosion control barriers. And the fact that they are keeping up with weather erosion controls like wattles is encouraging.
Are they required to report after a big storm event?
They
separately?
are, I believe they triggered NIPD's construction general permit coverage, so that would be a follow-up regarding the SWIP inspection.
Spell check, fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the gravel all for the road?
And parking area. That's my
It's
understanding.
moving very quickly.
I think it's because he's working on projects that pay him,
Yeah,
as opposed to,
this is
you
for
know, he's
him.
building his
Oh.
own project.
Okay.
Right.
So, yeah, it's like working on your own house. That's right.
When you live in it, it's fine if
Yeah.
you're not living in it.
Yeah, yeah, other people are doing it. Okay, so, I don't have any updates regarding Cumberland Farms.
I don't see any activity.
All right, so because I printed the wrong set of meeting minutes, we're just gonna defer those meeting minutes to
Sure.
the next meeting. Also, the next meeting.
Oh.
Yes.
We never approved the 22nd minutes, so we should have,
You didn't have the right people, I think.
yeah. we
Okay,
have a
so
quorum,
it should
we
be
still
for
need to
3
do
sets
this
of
one.
meeting minutes.
But maybe
We
we
could
can
do
do
it
May
the
22nd, you have May
22nd.
22nd.
Do you have the other one? No, do we have me, Julie, Jay? Yay! All right, would anyone care to make a motion on the May
I would love
22nd
to make a
meeting?
motion to approve the meeting minutes of May 22nd, 2017.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved, okay. So June 5th and June 19th will be on July 10th. Get that right.
How do we do this now? Like,
Motion?
motion is made by,
Julie?
I don't need to
Yes?
write Julie, I can just put
You
my
can put
initials.
JG. Second by AK. Vote. 4 yay. I don't actually have to vote unless I need to make quorum. So 4 yay, 0 nay, 0 abstain. It's not the same as abstain. Blame Robert.
4 yay, 0
Nay,
nay,
0
0
abstain.
abstain. Thank you.
Thank you. Planning board is having a meeting tomorrow. Forefront Power LLC seeking a special permit. Their access is supposed to be going, there will be a wetlands filing potentially in the future for buffer zone. And although maybe they stayed out of it. Their access crosses conservation land.
Okay. What are
So,
they doing?
solar.
Oh, solar.
TRC.
When's the meeting?
Tomorrow.
What's the meeting?
Here you go. Planning, here, take the card. Oh, hey, look, we got a notice. I'd like to inform you of the pending solar array project that is currently proposed on a parcel of land adjacent to yours. My company, Forefront Power, is working with the Tomaszewskis, I hope I said that right, to install a 1 megawatt DC solar array on a portion of the site's 15.8 acres. Due to your proximity to the site, we wanted to reach out to you prior to being notified by the town of our intentions to solicit feedback. There's no date on this letter. Can I take issue with that? Postmarked. And there's no. Tell me if you can figure out when this was postmarked. I have no idea when this was sent to us.
I don't think it was there at the last meeting, there was nothing new in the box.
I believe you.
No.
It's just,
There's nothing.
there's absolutely nothing to identify when this was sent to us.
Okay.
Because they do the same thing we do, which is stupid in-house postage. It's a different postage,
Okay,
I think it's stamps.com
all right.
instead of like an actual postage meter.
Mhm.
Sure coming. We also have a site plan. So it looks, sorry to interrupt. It looks like they're staying outside the 100-foot buffer zones. So we may not see anything from a Wetlands Protection Act perspective. But I do question, because Jess had called this out, that there's some sort of access across conservation land. But maybe that's changed, although I don't know how they get in. Although maybe not.
Can you see the letter?
Should this be under general business or correspondence?
Correspondence is fine, because that's how we received it. Oh, there's also something we need to pull from the files regarding 33 Meadowbrook Drive. Have we seen this before? I don't know. Yes?
Do that if you want.
Okay. I don't know how it was filed. It's old, 33 Meadowbrook.
Tell me what, well, let's start there.
So, while you're looking at that, I'll just mention this goes under correspondence as well. We received an email today from Leah M. Phillips, Esquire. Regarding 33 Meadowbrook Drive, East Hampton, Mass DEP file number 151-34. So, I represent Keely Herbert with regard, I hate when there's something like that. Regard to the sale of the above property, there is an order of conditions, see attached, that we need to have released. Please tell me the process for this. So I was hoping to find the file, but considering it's
Under Meadowbrook.
DEP file number, oh, let me, see if I can get this to open.
What's Keely's last name?
Herbert.
Shall I check under H?
No, let me see if I can.
There are no H's.
No, I would look under, I can't make out this name.
H, oh wait, I, Holyoke.
How about E, Eccles, ECHOLS.
EC.
This was issued August 8th, 1982.
Wow.
They never closed it. They never got a certificate of compliance. So this may be one where we do a site visit and just confirm that. So the work shall conform to the following described plans and additional conditions. No fill or topsoil shall be placed beyond a line 50 feet from the rear of the house and extending the width of the property. The area beyond this line and extending to the rear of the property may be graded and revegetated. A swale shall be maintained on both sides of the property to ensure that runoff water will be routed to the rear of the property and not onto that of the abutters. The toe, TOW, of any slope shall not extend further than 50 feet from the rear of the house. Oh, that's because, that's floodplain. All fill brought in after 1 June 1982 shall be removed and clean fill as per order number 5 shall be substituted. So maybe they got started a little early. Hay bale shall be placed 50 feet. According to the attached sheet, all disturbed areas shall be stabilized by vegetative cover. If this is not possible before winter, netting or straw mulch shall be installed in the direction of the Manhan River, which is way back there.
It's more than 200 feet from the river.
Yeah, but there's a lot of
But there's
floodplain.
wetland areas that could be closer within, the 100 foot.
Yeah. Chances are pretty good it's just 100-year flooding. There's no attached, so you didn't find anything? That's what it looks like.
Do you want me to get all those conditions down?
No. So there, but I would note that there are conditions, with the order, the original order. I will respond to Ms. Phillips with the process for requesting a certificate of compliance and the commission's schedule, and that we must perform a site visit prior to issuing a certificate of compliance. We'll try to do that before the meeting itself.
Where is this?
33 Meadowbrook Drive.
Is that like
Down the
your
hill.
neighborhood?
It's kind of off of West
Down,
Street.
it's down the hill from me.
Yeah,
Down the hill and around the corner. There's a house for sale.
that house,
Which house?
number 33?
Yeah,
That's why they need.
that's why they need to release that certificate, the order of conditions. Unfortunately, it often seems up to the discretion of whatever attorney's involved as to whether or not that gets
Actually done.
cleared from the title or not. Because we've had other older ones randomly come in, like the neighborhood between Oliver and West,
Mm-hmm.
like Hammondbrook Drive and Carolyn Circle. There was one that came in like dead center of that. But because other parts of the project, when it was a subdivision and the developer was developing it, required a permit, it apparently got referenced to all of them. So that's why that's that. Okay, so,
Do they likely have the plans if they have? No.
it's doubtful that maybe it got recorded. I can try to look up the order online and see if it was attached. But I feel like she would have, like the PDF she included would have been a PDF of the entire document. So it is also possible that it wasn't attached. So, that appears to be all the new correspondence. This is all old stuff.
One question on correspondence from the last meeting minutes. There was information about the grad student that we were in touch with.
Yes.
Should I add on to that or just get rid of it?
We determined that the parcel in question was the
Borchowski.
Borchowski parcel.
Mhm.
And Jess Allen said it was fine for them to go ahead and do the work there. The work being just that they are doing some sort of
Observations.
ecological survey, yeah, and are gonna hang a flag or a point.
That's just,
And I passed that on to the grad student.
thank you. Anything else? I apologize if I'm repeating myself in an embarrassing way. Our next meeting is, per request of the health agent, is going to be in conference room A, not conference room B.
Okay.
So, it will state that on our agenda, in the header that probably no one ever looks at. But just so we all go to the right place, it's gonna be across the hall. They're just expecting more interest in their meeting than they feel like they can accommodate. And let's be honest, we got a quiet agenda, so, she was very gracious when she made that request, and she made it well in advance, so.
So that's their June 10th meeting?
July?
July 10th.
Wow, don't ask me about months.
The kids already know that by the time they're in your classroom, right?
I think it's just end of the year, like, I don't care,
I don't
as
know
long
how
as
you
we're
do
done
it.
in a week.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't either.
You still have a week?
Yes. Okay, so, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
That's awesome.
Okay.
The summer being so busy.